Hello, today I will be talking about Star Waspir, a shoot 'em up found on the 2024 indie release UFO 50, which contains 50 retro style games. And I just recently bought UFO 50, and you know me, I had to start out with a shmup. And as I usually do, I will first talk about talk generally about the game, like my impressions and my general strategy, and then do a commentary of my best run of the game. So, Star Wars Spear is a compile style shmup, which means that there's kind of a huge emphasis on power-ups and continuously collecting power-ups. But unlike compile games, it won't take you like an hour to play through it. It's only like 10 minutes, which is very cool. And my kind of general verdict on the game is that it's fun despite itself. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, simply put, Star Wars Beer has a lot of fundamental problems. The stage design is pretty uninspired. It's just kind of a mess of enemy waves. The bullet patterns, not very interesting. There's a very strange difficulty curve where the game's generally pretty easy, but stage 3, and there's I think 5 stages, stage 3 is like a huge difficulty spike, like all of the difficulty of the game is in the stage 3. And when I first started playing it, if you're a shmup player, it's a very easy game to just do a survival clear of. But then there's something called getting a cherry in UFO 50, which is basically doing kind of like a challenge run of the game. And the cherry in Star Wars Spear is clearing the game while getting 300,000 points, I believe. And that's, when I did the initial clear, I was like, this was maybe kind of too easy for me because I'm accustomed to playing shoot 'em ups, and this isn't really meant for hardcore shoot 'em up players. It's more for the casual audience. And so I thought, hey, I'll go for the cherry. And then the game became interesting because even though there are these, what I would say, fundamental problems with the game, the way that the power-up system works really makes the game super engaging. So the way it works is that every time you destroy an enemy, you get a letter.
I got a letter.
And there's a kind of sequence that repeats every time. And the sequence is EGG, or egg. And if you pick up these letters in different sequences, they do different things. So if you do the egg, like EGG, your score multiplier goes up by 1. Then if you collect GGG, you get an option for your ship. And there's I think there's a one-off special attack and boosting your shots. I think there's 4 different things that you can get. Yeah. So if you want to get that high score, you want to get into the multiplier stuff. So you want to collect some eggs in the game. But the tricky part is that if you die, you lose the multiplier. So you're not really allowed to die very early in the run because the deeper you get into the game, the more difficult it becomes, and you really want to kind of get into the multiplier stuff early. And also, if you collect a non-valid letter combination, like say EGE, it will also reset your multiplier. So you're really not allowed to sleepwalk through the game at any point if you try to go for the high score. And really getting the 300k, maybe it's 3 million? Well, it's something starting with 3 anyway. It's not that difficult, again, if you're used to playing shmups. But as I got into it, it really I kind of became engaged with the idea of trying to get a high score, because again, the game is only 10 minutes long, which is a beautiful length for a game, and it really smooths out over the problems because even if the patterns and the stage design isn't super interesting, and even if it's a very kind of strict game where you're not allowed really to make mistakes if you want to get a high score, because the game is so short, it's not a huge deal if you want to reset or something. So yeah, once you start to get into the score play, it becomes it becomes a game of like intense concentration, even if it's not that difficult. But again, very strict, so you're not really allowed to make mistakes if you want to get a nice score. So yeah, getting into the score play, I started really enjoying my time with Waspir, and I ended up spending, I think, 4 hours on the game, eventually getting a clear without dying. And you know, when you clear without dying and keeping your multiplier deep into the game, you get a really nice score. So the commentary that I'm going to do is going to be on my no-death PB scoring run. And just a quick note on my general strategy of the game. So stage 1, I only concentrate on getting the egg multiplier. So I want to get my score multiplier up as quickly as possible. And like by this, let's say like mid stage 2, I want to get my multiplier at something like 30. That's a number that I settle on. It's not that difficult to get to 30, but it's a nice multiplier. And then after getting to the 30 multiplier, I only collect the GGGs, which gives you options. And you know, I'm playing with the gray ship, which has these options, which has homing options. And so basically what I found is like stages 1 and 2, not that difficult, but of course when you start to get into collecting the score multiplier, it's very easy to kind of lose it and then you need to reset, but whatever. Survival play, not that difficult. But stage 3 is a huge difficulty spike, and there's like a variety of problems that accumulate during that stage. Like, well, because the game is in the unholy 16:9 vertical scrolling orientation, you can't really control the screen very well, and there's like enemies coming from all sides, and the patterns are pretty random, and then the stage is full of asteroids, and the visibility isn't that good because for me at least, the asteroids kind of blend into the background, or where my eyes or my brain feels like they're the part of the background. So it takes quite a bit of concentration to get through stage 3. And what I found is that if I try to think about score multipliers, or I think about which letter combination I need to get, it really messes up with that concentration, and then I ended up making a mistake, and then I die. So I settle on playing the gray ship and just getting the GGG options. Like after I hit that 30 score multiplier, I just go for the options. And the thing about this game is that you need to replenish your options. So they kind of protect you too, and they can die pretty easily. So I just kind of get that multiplier and then try to keep it for as long as possible and just concentrate on getting the options for the rest of the game. And you know, if you get that kind of multiplier by stage 2, if you like clear stage 3 with it, you'll already be at the kind of the cherry limit, or not the limit, but the requirement, which again is like the number beginning with 3, I guess 300k or 3 million. So if you just want to get the cherry, I just recommend like trying to get the multiplier early, keep it into stage 3, and then just go for survival play. And I found the gray ship with the homing options a pretty nice way of playing. It's kind of a defensive way of playing, just kind of maybe kind of limiting my play a little bit with just going for the homing options every time and just trying not to mess up the multiplier. And that ended up working for me. Though one really annoying thing is in stage 4, I lose the multiplier to something that's, you know, I watched the replay and it seems like it's like a glitch or something. Maybe you can take a look at the run in the commentary. I'll say when it happens. It's just kind of, I have the letters G, G, and suddenly they disappear and I lose the multiplier. And it's like, thanks, game. But, you know, it doesn't really matter because it happened like deep into stage 4 and I ended up getting a nice score anyway, which is, I think, is 1 million, 10 million. Well, I really needed to have checked out the numbers beforehand, but you'll see the number in the video title or in the video. So yeah, Waspir, not like a classic game or anything, but pretty fun. Again, if you're a shmup player, I really recommend going for at least the cherry clear, or maybe even trying to up your score, because the kind of score, like playing the game as a kind of score attack game really makes it sing. Like just as a survival game, not very interesting, but getting into collecting those eggs is what kind of makes the game cool. So yeah, let's get into the commentary. So this is my personal best run of Star Waspir. It's a clear with a score of roughly a little bit over 1 million and no deaths. And starting out with stage 1, this is where I just concentrate on building my multiplayer, so I'm collecting EGGs and spend a lot of time on this stage because it's pretty easy to mess up your multiplier chain, because there's going to be like these continuous waves of enemies. Like this start isn't too bad, but once you start getting like these waves, and especially the ones that appear in the center, you need to pick up the letters in a very quick succession. And sometimes, it can be easy to make mistakes and mistime a letter, or kind of miscalculate like which letter you need to get, and that resets your multiplier, and that means that you're basically resetting your run because you want to build up your multiplier during the early stages, but still very fun stage to do. And again, while the design itself isn't super inspired, the fact that you need to keep track of like your position and the letters and everything, it keeps you engaged and in the game, so that's kind of cool. So here in this run I played a little bit safe because I kind of got tired of resetting in stage 1, so I don't go for like 20. Multiplier 25 is nice, but I would prefer it to be closer to 30. So I think here I'll start out by collecting the options, because it makes like destroying these enemy waves easier, and then I'll collect some more eggs to get that multiplier up to 30, I think. And for me at least, it becomes kind of brain exercise when I need to consider the the letters. So here, like getting that EGG is pretty difficult for me while dodging the bullets. So it's a huge relief. Like it's the kind of the strat that made this run possible for me, that I kind of settled on playing the gray ship and just collecting the options and not worrying about anything else. But again, you need to continuously kind of replenish your options, because sometimes I think during the boss of this stage you can see them kind of getting into the point blank range. What that means is I think they get destroyed basically. Yeah. My options are gone, which is kind of oh no, there's still no, I just collected one option. Okay, so yeah, this is kind of a strange bit of design. Like, I think it's okay that you need to kind of continuously get your options back, but the way that the options basically kind of run up to the enemies and die is kind of, I don't know, kind of sucks a little bit, but whatever. The bosses in this game are like pretty simple, pretty easy, so doesn't really matter that much. Now we get to the infamous stage 3, and if you Google this game, there's a lot of players who are like like basically crying over how difficult this stage is. And it's hard for me to say because I've been playing shmups for like 3 years now or so, and so for me this is like normal. But yeah, I think if I didn't have the shmup experience, this would be pretty tough for me. And the strategy that I settled on here is actually I'm kind of guarding the center. So I'm kind of staying in the center, letting my homing buddies take care of the enemies. And when we get these special enemies on the sides, I think one is going to appear on the left soon-ish. Oh no, we get these waves. Yeah, again, getting those GGGs. Yeah, when you get these special enemies appearing on the sides, especially the ones that fire homing attacks, I try to destroy them as quickly as I can. So kind of stay in the center for a while, and then I try to destroy them as quickly as possible, especially these ones, because those green homing bullets are really a pain, especially with like the way that you get the homing bullets. Then you have these asteroids that, is it just me, or do they like look like they could be part of the background? Which is kind of, it took me a while. I would, like in many runs, I would just ram myself into an asteroid. which, you know, never feels good when you're dying because of visibility issues, but I think I eventually get accustomed to it. Yeah, with the homing bullets, the asteroids, and then the random purple bullets, it's kind of a mess. So yeah, guarding the center and then basically like speed killing the special enemies here. Was really happy to also not break my multiplier in the stage, which can happen very easily. And I don't really like destroy those large asteroids very much because it takes a long while. It's very strange. Again, bosses, nothing super special, but you have to be mindful of the bullets coming from the bottom of the screen. Like once those donuts reach the bottom of the screen, they start coming up on you. So that got me a couple of times. So stage 4, I think the background is maybe inspired by Rekka for Famicom, or that's what it reminds me of. So the interesting part about these walls is that you actually can destroy the gray walls too. It just takes longer, and I actually kind of experimented with that too, like just staying in the center, but that had its own problems because if I like lost my options and I didn't have that much power, I could still get trapped. And this is a stage where I usually would die once in some of my previous runs. So here again, I tried to stack. I didn't memorize the positions of the weak spots, so just stay in the center and then try to go to the side as quickly as possible. This is a super fun section. I wish the game had more of these sections, which actually get like a little bit overwhelming and like bullet hell like. It's really cool. Yeah, this is just reflex dodging, and just there's like no routing here really. It's just me kind of going all over the place. And then we get, I think, a little some more of the walls, but now yeah, the weak spots appear on the extreme sides. And yeah, this, because these got me a couple of times, I kind of ready here to go to the extreme side. And here is where I'm going to lose my multiplier soon. And it's kind of, yeah, it's like what happened here? I was really, I know when I noticed it, I was really kind of like, what? Just really strange. So I think I was like, whatever, I'll just kind of keep collecting options and maybe grab a couple of multipliers for the final stage, which is only the boss fight. So it was really cool, or really nice to have the multiplayer carry to this end of stage 4, which is, yeah, it's the best that I've done, but kind of really sucked because it happened because of a glitch or something. So I don't know, if you noticed something that I didn't, please let me know, like, where did that multiplier go? So we are at the final boss. Again, as a boss, nothing super special, but it's kind of because dodging, like micro dodging in this game is kind of dangerous. I try to basically go for macro and play it really safe, so you can see me kind of hanging out at the sides, waiting for the pattern to go past me, and then get in and do a little bit of damage, and then go to the side again. And here I decided to collect a couple of EGG multipliers, because I noticed that my score is really close to 1 million, and I was like, I want to make sure that when I get the end stage bonus that I have a multiplier, so that I won't miss getting to the 1 million. So yeah, I'm just kind of, because, you know, there's, I guess, I'm not really sure if you can time out the bosses in the game, but I know that I have some time, so I decided to gather a couple of multipliers and then, without dying, preferably, and then just go for the boss. So often in my commentary I talk about routing and like strategies, but here it's like really, like I've already mentioned my strategies, so this is basically just pure dodging, which, I mean, it works if you want to play a game where you can just kind of just get into it and dodge and have fun without like going for like needing to study routing or anything. So yeah, Star Waspir, surprisingly fun. At first, as I said, I was kind of like, yeah, whatever, because like just doing a survival clear isn't very interesting. But once I got into the score play, it became pretty engaging. So again, just seconding my recommendation that if you are a more seasoned shmup player, try going for some score in this game, or at least the cherry clear, because it's like keeping track of the letters, as annoying as it can be at times, it really is the heart of the game. So, and you want to get to the heart of any game really that you play. So, and just one final thing, it's really funny, like the Hidden Fortress uploaded a clear commentary of, I think it's Blazing Star. Now I can't remember the name of the game. Anyway, it's this Neo Geo shmup, I think. But at the end of each stage, the game says that like your skill is great, and at the end of this game, you have your skill is great. So that's kind of a nice nod to an actual like early retro shmup. So yeah, that's Star Waspir. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.